Hey, yo. What up? All right. Okay, I honestly don't know the last time I hopped on here and give a little update on the deal that I got going. So I'll kind of start from the beginning. I know I've talked on it a little bit already. So we got the agreement signed, right? On the original agreement, it lists my title company. What else does it list? It lists the tentative closing date as I think 17th of August. That was 45 days from the original agreement that we got signed by the seller. I wanted to allow the tenant enough time to find a place, right? And we locked it up at 58,000. I locked it up at 58,000. Now, I'm in a virtual market, so I've been keeping in constant contact with a gentleman out there who I'm JVing with. He's worked with me on a few of my prior deals that have just fell through. So I already had the intention of bringing this deal to him. I've known that he has connections, and I was confident that he'd be able to find me a buyer. So it was just kind of like a no issues, no worry type thing. I get the agreement, I bring it to him. We work on the dispo side of things, and then we get it closed. I don't know if he's going to see this, but whatever. The relationship is going a little south now, and I'll tell you why. So we got the pictures taken. The place was in really rough shape, but I knew that was the case, right? If you recall, if you watched my prior videos when I got the agreement locked up, the seller was very forthright and was overly, explaining how bad the place was, right? So that's on me, right? If I should have taken it on its face and listened to him, right? And when I offered him 58, that was 10,000 over his outstanding mortgage balance of 48. So I asked if him and his wife were wanting to walk away with 10,000. He took it right away, super excited about it, which let me know that I probably could have gotten it for less, right? But that's fine. Let me close the window 1 second. So that's cool, right? Now, we got the pictures taken, and it was in very rough shape. In all honesty, it was in better condition than I thought. Well, not in better condition, but there was a lot less clutter than I thought. When I started speaking with the daughter, the tenant, she made it sound like it was a hoarder house, that there was going to be stuff stacked from floor to ceiling. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of junk in there, and I don't know how her and her son, her 15-year-old son, lived there. Just to be completely honest, there's a lot of junk. But again, I'm used to watching the TV show Hoarders, where they're like sleeping on the mountain of junk behind them. And it's not that, but I don't know where they sit. None of the mattresses have sheets on them, like that type stuff, right? So it's bad. And then we had the cash buyer showing, and my JV partner actually hosted that. I had a handful of buyers that were confirmed. He had a handful of buyers that were confirmed. Only one buyer showed up on time, which was the buyer that I had lined up. And another buyer had emailed me. The showing was at 10 a.m. and he emailed me at 10:45 saying, "I'm here. What's going on?" I didn't even reply, to be honest. And my lack of response, I hope, sends the message clearly of it was at 10, not 10:45. But anyways, so the one buyer who walked it ended up making an offer and negotiated with my JV partner that was out there. And we came to an agreement of 70,000, which is, again, 12,000 beyond my 58 that I had the contract for. Now, this is where things start to get a little fishy, right? And this is a lack of communication and just like a lack of meeting of minds between me and my JV partner. He hears 70 and he hears, all right, cool. I'm going to bring that. And this is what he does. Yeah, I'm going to bring that to Derek, and I'm going to see if Derek can talk the seller down, renegotiate price to maximize our assignment fee. And I'm kind of coming from a place of inexperience. So, I'm kind of like looking up to my JV partner for guidance. But so when he's telling me this, he's bringing this to me. Hey, he called me right afterwards. Hey, he agreed at 70. I'm thinking, cool. All right, cool. 12,000. That's 6 each. First deal locked up. Let's do it. Right. And he's saying, yeah. So like, if you can go back to the seller and renegotiate, and I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, right. And I'm kind of like taking his word, guidance. And all right, yeah. Okay, let me try to, and I'm telling him, let me go back to the seller. I think he will take less. And then my JV partner also, okay, and the buyer wants to use his title company, right? And I'm like, okay, I don't really have a problem with that, but it says my title company on the original agreement. And my JV partner, okay, yeah, we're probably going to need to get that amended. So when you have your seller re-sign a new purchase agreement with the lowered price, just change change the language that doesn't specifically indicate that we're going to be using this exact title company, but that the buyer has the right to choose the title company. That way, when we assign our interest in this original purchase and sale agreement to our end buyer, they assume that position of getting to choose the title company. Things would have been different had I already had it at title and they were already working on it and escrow was already open, but title hasn't, escrow hasn't been open on this yet. We haven't gotten it with a title company. And then the third thing is the buyer wants to move quickly, but the tenant's in there, the daughter's in there, and we have a tentative date that, is allowing her that time to get out. And I wanted to be sure that that was the case. So that's just a bunch of stuff. Those three things are just things that my JV partner didn't communicate. And I can't blame him because it's not his deal. And that's what I kind of don't appreciate about this relationship right now is he's kind of sitting back and it's much easier for him to kind of bark orders at me that will probably net the both of us more money, but it's not how I want to do business. It kept me up all night last night thinking, what am I going to tell the seller? Right? He went well out of his way to let me know how bad the condition of this place was. So what am I going to come back? Yeah, it just wasn't as bad as, it was much worse than I thought. Like, what is he going to say? I made it very clear that it was bad. Right. And it's just not how I want to do business. This is pretty much the size deal that I was expecting and anticipating. And again, coming, in the eyes of my JV partner, I just don't think he realizes and sees big picture. What he sees is Derek brought me a deal. Boom. Let's try to get as much money as possible. And it's easy for him to say, yeah, go back to the seller, try to get it lower. When he's not the one who built that relationship with the seller. He's not the one who has that relationship with the seller. And he's not the one who would have to go back on his word with the seller. It's me that has to do that. And that's not something that I'm comfortable with, not something that I want to do. And it's not something that it's not how I want to do business. That's not how I want to start my career in wholesaling is going back on my word. Right. And the third thing with the tenant, right? And he's saying, okay, we'll get with the seller and put it in his ear that we need to get his daughter out of there. And again, when I'm on the phone, it just sounds so reasonable, right? I'm like, yeah, okay. But then when I sit back and think about it, I'm like, no, man, like she has that time. We've been very clear about it. And I'm not wanting to kick her out. I'm not wanting to rush her out. And I let my JV, this is something I did let my JV partner know. It's not going to be the seller. It's not going to be her father that urges her out quicker or helps her out through that. Based on my conversations that I've had with them, it doesn't sound like they really talk. He said, the father says that it's been a really long time since he's visited her. He lives 4 hours away. He gave me her number so that I can coordinate, right? And if there was any if he was coming from a place of caution or like, oh, I don't know if I want you speaking with my daughter about he would have voiced that, but he was very willing to just throw it on my plate. Here, take care of it because I don't want to. So I let him know he's not going to be the one that's going to help me get her out. I'm going to be the one who is getting in contact with realtors, other people, apartment finders to get her out of there. And then the third thing is the title company. So what I'm going to do now, I'm kind of going rogue behind my JV partner's back, but again, it's my deal. And again, when I sit back and think about it, it's frustrating because I really didn't need him, right? The only thing that he really did for me was send his cousin out to take pictures and show up to the cash buyer showing and kind of represent me on my behalf, right? That's really all he's done. It was my deal, my contract, my communication and relationship that I built with both the seller and the daughter. My buyer that showed up and attended the cash buyer showing, all he did, and in my opinion, he didn't really do that great of a job of negotiating either, right? If he wanted more money, and that's another thing, it's like if he wanted more money, he should have negotiated a higher price with the buyer, not just take something small so that he can come back to me and make me do all the hard work, right? So that's how I'm kind of sitting right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give the buyer a ring real quick. I've been trying to kind of like string him along because I was like, yeah, let me get in contact with the seller. I'm trying to renegotiate the price to make it worth our while. And I'm trying to get a new one signed so we can use your title company. And then I'm going to try to, coordinate to get her out. I want to give him a call and talk about everything and clear everything up. And one of the most important things is I want to see if he's willing to work with my title company. And, I'll let him know that we can go with his title company the next deal, right? Because if that's the case, then I'm cool with what our assignment fee is going to be. And if he's cool, the buyer's cool about the title company, then I don't have to get anything re-signed. I don't have to send the seller back into town to get it notarized because he can't figure out the e-signature on his computer. I don't have to do anything. Everything would be avoided. And if he's willing to do the title company, my title company, then I can just simply use the original purchase and sale. I can send him the assignment. I can send him both so that he can reference the purchase and sale, which is going to be required so that he knows the assignment fee and what he's assuming the role in, right? Because again, my interest in the original purchase and sale agreement is just simply being transferred to the buyer. So he has to be on board with my original purchase and sale agreement too. And if that's the case, then I can just simply get it into title, have them start running the title search, paying off the outstanding mortgage. And my primary focus can then just be simply get the tenant out as soon as possible. And I hope that the buyer is willing to do that. And I don't see why he wouldn't be. It's just a matter of him agreeing to the title company. So I'm going to give him a call right now. That's really what I wanted this video to be about. Sorry it took so long. Been ranting for 12 minutes, but I wanted to catch you up to speed to kind of give you some context into this conversation that I'm hopefully getting ready to have right now. So I'm going to give him a call. See what he's talking about.
Hello?
Hey, Nestor.
Hello? Hey, what's going on, Derek?
Hey. Sorry, did I catch you at a bad time here?
No, you're good, brother.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I just wanted to, I'm so sorry about the confusion. I just wanted to round back with you and clear everything up the best way possible. And, just get on track to be able to get this over to title. The one thing is that I wanted to ask, and hopefully, you agree to, is are you comfortable using my title company this go around? And then the next deal that I bring you, we can go ahead and go with your title company?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Yeah. And the reason I ask is because on the original purchase and sale agreement that I have with the seller, it specifically indicates my title company on there. So just to, make it as simple as possible, like I was saying, the seller isn't very tech savvy. So I would just have to jump through a bunch of hoops to get new signatures on new agreements. So cool. I'm glad that you're willing to do that. Like I said, next one I bring you, we can go with your title company. And that's really it. That was kind of the one thing that I was concerned about because again, I would have had to jump through a bunch of hoops, but now that you're on board with that, what I can do is send the assignment agreement, and then I can go ahead and get everything submitted to title tomorrow morning, so they can get going on that. And that way, my main focus can just be on getting the tenant out of there as soon as possible.
Okay, no problem there.
All right.
That's good, man. I mean, yeah, no problem. I just use Chicago because I always use some, but
right.
You know what? I mean, I don't. So,
yeah.
Yeah, we can do it on
Perfect.
yours.
All right. What I'm gonna do, you can kind of, I'm gonna send you a different assignment agreement, so you can disregard what Nick had sent over to you yesterday. I'm gonna go ahead and send you the agreement that I have. Take a look, read through it. I'm also going to attach. I might have to send it in a separate email, but I'll go ahead and send you over the original purchase and sale agreement too, so that you can just look over that and make sure that everything's good there. And then when you're ready to go ahead and sign the assignment agreement, you can do that. And once I get that signed and sent over, like I said, I can get it straight over to title tomorrow morning so that they can get going on that. I don't know if I told you, but I have a realtor working with the tenant as well to try to get her, lay out her options so that it's a little bit smoother. So she, I'm not putting everything on her because I felt like if I kind of left it up to her, she wouldn't really be making any serious moves. Um, so we got the realtor working with her in that regard, and yeah, my main goal, my ideally my goal would be to have her move into or somewhere the first of the month, right? Just to kind of start a new lease somewhere else the first of the month. Um, but like I said, she is at the understanding that on the original purchase and sale, we have a tentative closing date for the 17th of August, I believe. So worst comes to worst, push comes to shove, that would be the absolute latest that she gets out of there.
Okay, no problem there. Sounds good, man.
All right, perfect. I appreciate you taking the call on a Sunday. Typically, I try to.
I'm actually in another property right now.
Okay. Yeah.
This property is about 150 degrees inside.
Oh my God, I bet. Yeah, I know. Like I was saying, yeah, I typically try to avoid doing business on Sunday just because I don't know everybody's schedule and what have you. But I'm glad that I caught you at a good time. Yeah, and Nick was telling me, you said you got a project right down the street, huh?
Yes, we do. Right there on man, this is Alameda. We have one in Alameda.
Okay.
And we have another one in Inwood. It's right there.
Yeah.
Also, Inwood. So yeah, man, we like Pasadena. We think about it, and yeah, man, you guys. I mean, we can make some money together, right?
Definitely. I definitely plan on bringing any of my Pasadena deals your way. I'm working a few on looking at my board here on Center Street. I got a couple leads there, and another one on Burke actually. So definitely, once I can get some agreements locked up there, I'll definitely bring them your way.
Yeah, man. Thank you, Derek.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting ready to send this over to you right now. It'll probably be 10-15 minutes. And let me just confirm while I have you on the phone, the email. It's nramirez.84@hotmail.
Yes. Actually, I sent an email to Nick yesterday.
Okay.
And he replied back with that copy of
the agreement.
The agreement, yes.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. Perfect. And like I said,
issues, you send me your email, then I send it to you.
Yeah.
Email, that way you can reply back.
Perfect. Yeah, it'll come from this new one will come from my email, and like I said, you can just disregard the one that Nick sent. This one will be completely different, different language. So take your time reading through it, and when you're ready, you go ahead and sign off on it.
All right, no problem.
All right.
Just send it to my email, the one you just mentioned. Don't send it to the other one.
Perfect. And actually, while I have you as well, what was your company name? I don't think Nick had ever given that to me.
It's Radone. It's RADONE Properties 180.
Perfect.
If you want, I can text it to you just so you have it. I mean,
yeah, that'll be perfect actually. Yeah, I'll shoot you a text right after we get off the phone here, and then we can kind of just coordinate on the details.
Okay.
All right. Perfect. Have a good one. Bye now. All right. That went well. That went better than I anticipated, to be honest. And you can even hear me. I hear myself in the process of like over explaining. I just want to make sure that he's on board, right? So I'm going to pull up my assignment agreement. Hopefully he doesn't like think I'm being shady, because again, it's going to be coming from a different company. Nick sent over my JV partner sent over his assignment agreement, probably with his company name on it. So I could have explained right there that we were just JV partners, and that's why we were just kind of confused going back and forth. But now that everything is locked up, but anyways, he doesn't care. He's just desperate for the deal, and that was something else, right? That was something else that we was going back and forth on. I feel like my JV partner is coming from a place of scarcity. He's overly concerned that we got to do this, and that, and then I don't want to lose out on the deal. But at the same time, we got to renegotiate the price and get this and he got me flustered. I'll tell you, yesterday I was anxious all day yesterday. I was flustered, and so much stuff was going on when it didn't have to be. It didn't have to be that at all. All I needed was his offer. That's all I needed. And to have a conversation with him like that. Like, my JV partner was coming from a place of pleasing the buyer too much, I think, and it put us in a poor position to actually close on it, where we can just agree and say, hey, I need these terms. And that's what I was saying. I think he's coming from a scarcity mindset, like the buyer's going to back out. But when I talk to the buyer on the phone, he seems desperate, like, right? Because it's a seller's market right now. There's not many deals going around, or not as many as it seems like there was. And I'm coming from a place of abundance, thinking, no. He's wanting to do it right now because he doesn't want us to shop it around anymore. He wants to be sure that he has this deal. And I think it was just more clear to me because I went through the process of getting the agreement, talking with the sellers, doing all that. And what am I trying to say? I had done the groundwork, so I felt like I was in the position of power with this agreement, which is the case and still is the case. But with the JV partner, I feel like he's kind of a third party, and since he didn't do all of the legwork to get to where we're at, he feels like the buyer is in the position of power. Like we need to do what he wants. Like we got to close on this. It's like, no. We have the agreement. If he doesn't close on it, somebody else will. We've already gotten plenty of verbal offers right around that same price point that he's offering, but he's on board and he's locked in. So let's do it, right? So that's what I'm gonna do right now. I'm going through my assignment agreement to be sure, and to know what I specifically need from him, like his company name there. I don't even know if I need his company name on this agreement. I just have he can just sign off as his company name, because it just says assignee on my agreement. Property address, contract price, assignment fee, initial EMD, assignment fee. Oh, I should have asked him if he was cool with the earnest money, but it'll just be in there. So title company, earnest money by, I will say like Wednesday, closing date, same as the purchase and sale, and then boom. All right, so I'm going to do that right now. Appreciate you guys tuning in. If you like the content, if you like my rants, please subscribe. I'm going to be coming with a lot more rants in the future. I promise you that. So if you liked it, if you enjoyed the content, drop a comment, let me know. Appreciate you guys. Till the next one. Peace.